So I have that fancy hair you have when you have the person who styles it do it. So I am so excited to talk to you tonight because part of what I did this past week, I'm Amy, you're here live around 5, is to talk about subjects when we did the 5 Days to Resilience Challenge, what people really wanted to dig in more about. And it turns out that people are fascinated about the idea of financial resilience, how you can make money every single day. And it's certainly a topic that I think is of our time. It's important for us, especially as women, especially as middle life women and women who have been through trauma. It's really important that we own our own financial destiny, our future, and our power. And the first way we can do that is to have a home business. Even if you work 9 to 5, I always suggest that you have multiple streams of income. If you've been here a while, you know that's exactly what we do. I worked with a mentor who I can share her information if you're interested. Amazing person. I still work with her today. And she helped us launch 2 six-figure businesses. Of course, times change. It's not like those stayed exactly perfect. One was in real estate, as a matter of fact. And so we're building a third business to kind of build back what was lost when the real estate market got tired. But it wasn't such a disaster because we had multiple streams of income. So to start a home-based business, you don't need a ton of money and you don't need a ton of time. There are lots of options. You can, if there's something that you make, that could be amazing. You could be a bookkeeper for someone. You could be an artist. Maybe you are a graphic artist and people need logos and things like that. There's a ton of stuff you can do from home that isn't going to be a full-time job that's still going to give you additional income. You can join the Resilient and Successful Family group where I share my experience in starting our businesses and share some of the things that really helped. What not to buy, for example, you're going to feel immediately this urge to kind of create and get all the tools and subscriptions and things that you need, but there are really only a very few that you need, and you can add things on as you grow. You should never spend money, in my opinion, until you've got it to spend. So don't spend money you don't have to start that home-based business. The second thing is freelance work. There are these amazing groups like Fiverr or Upwork where you can go on and people will ask for help and they'll bid out a job. And maybe it'll be something like a web designer. Maybe it'll be something like a blog writer, a copywriter. And if those are things that you do, you can bid on those jobs. It's pretty simple. It can only take a few hours a week and you can earn several $100s a month if that's something that would make a difference for you. Let me make sure you understand that in 95% of marriages, only $400 a month would have made a big difference. Over 64% of families in the United States are living paycheck to paycheck. So imagine what $400 or $500 would do to alleviate the stress that that creates for people. Living in financial freedom isn't about traveling the world extravagantly. Financial freedom can be had when your bills are super low and your income more than covers it. Your residual income is the key there, but it's something that we can all aspire to and reach quicker than you think we can. The next thing I say is to save money. I mean, if you're budgeting $400 a month for groceries and you're able to get that for $300, you've clawed back $100, right? There are several cool ways to do that today. You can do surveys online. If you have more time than you feel like you have talent that you want to deploy right now, maybe you've got a little kid at home, and while you are a graphic artist, the last thing you have time for is focused, energetic, artistic activity. And what you need is something you can kind of do brainlessly. There are opportunities to like scan your receipts to fetch. The place that I look to help me the most with this is Rocket Money. And I've attached my affiliate link here. The reason I like Rocket Money is it'll look for duplicate charges. And I know all of us think we don't have them, but a friend of mine actually turned out that she and her husband were both paying for DoorDash. So she thought she was paying for it. He thought he was paying for it. It was on 2 separate credit cards, and Rocket Money caught that for them. It'll also negotiate lower bills for you, and it can help you by tracking your money. When you know what you have, it's easier to know what savings impact could be. Now, here's a place where you're really going to want to think about ROI. That's return on investment. Let's say you could spend 6 hours and save $6. That's probably not really worth it. But if you could spend 6 hours and save $60, that's not so bad, right? The other thing I always tell people about are passive savings. Like, for example, I bank with Wells Fargo and I love my cash deals that they offer. Basically, there's a set of vendors every single month and they rotate in and out. And if you click and activate that vendor and end up spending money with them, you're going to get that money back into your account, the cash back in your account. And it's just a partnership, I'm sure, that Wells has with marketing in these companies. But let me give you an example of a way I really was able to stack savings. I love Home Chef. It's one of my favorite things to do. I think it saves me money because I don't have to go to the store. I don't have to go to the restaurant. I know what 3 of my evening meals are going to be the week I order my Home Chef. I got a huge discount by rejoining after taking some time off, and I was able to get cash back through my Wells Fargo app. So my 3 meals last week cost us less than $30. That ends up being 3 meals for the 2 of us and 3 additional leftover meals because they're so generous with their portions. That's the sort of savvy savings I'm talking about. All I had to do was notice that Home Chef was one of the potential vendors that I could save with and activate that with one click. So about once a week, I'll check those and I've probably gotten about $40 back this year so far. I'd say that's really worth the time I've spent. The next thing is that I really recommend that you invest wisely. One of the best ways to live is on residual income. I think most of us are familiar with the concept of residual income when we think about people who've done really well in MLMs and companies like that, maybe a Rodan and Fields or a Young Living, 2 great companies I've been involved with. I'm still with Young Living. And you see people who get up to these ranks where they're always got money coming in and it covers all of their expenses. Well, you can also do that with investments in a variety of other ways. The concept of residual income means the money you have to have in the bank is much larger than the money that you're going to take out. You want to preserve your principal there. But living off of investments is certainly a fantastic way to manage your slow work, high returns. If you've got the money to stick in the bank, especially you want to put it somewhere safe, that means the return is going to be even lower. But what I love about this concept is I would expect you to blend all of these, right? I'm not saying here you should do A, B, C, or D. I'm saying a blend of all 4, right? Starting a home business, getting some freelance work, saving money, and then investing money and living off of that can really make a difference to being financially free. Now, again, when we talk about financial freedom, we don't mean lavishness and Lady Gaga travel and wild outfits and little dogs, right? Private planes. We're talking about the freedom to live your life when and where and how you want to. So if you don't want to be cold, you're going to go south for the winter. If you're really looking to ski, off you go to Killington and experience that. And you're probably going to have an arc where you're still working through a good bit of that. We actually have all 4 of these income streams, and they mean a lot to us. I track them separately so that I know what our ROI is, and I make sure I adjust as we go. So, for example, we added that extra business this year because real estate slowed down. So having multiple income streams can really be the key to financial freedom. I recommend you try 1 or 2 of these this year. It's a great goal to put on your docket for 2023. And I'm so grateful that you're here chatting with me. I hope I'll be able to see you back here again tomorrow live around 5. And I love you guys so much. Mwah. Let's all get financially free. It's going to be awesome.